Good afternoon, everyone. I, Agyasha, on behalf of NEN and Vadwani Foundation, would like to invite you all for this webinar and also would introduce our expert, Ms. Preeti Singh. With over 14 years of experience in business development and consulting, Preeti has a keen interest in education and entrepreneurship. She is currently the Network Manager for Student Entrepreneur Support at NEN and works with many institutes to widen the entrepreneurial spectrum. Prior to joining NEN, Preeti worked with Educom, XT Solutions, and Aditya Birla Group. She has a graduate and an LLB degree from the University of Delhi. She has also done her MBA in marketing and has qualified for the Indian Civil Services. Before I hand over the floor to Preeti, here are a few reminders for the audience. You all will be on mute by default. You may ask a question by typing in the panel provided, or if you wish to speak to the speaker directly, then you may click on the raise hand button. That's a hand icon you can see on your screen. You will be provided with the audio access only when the question and answer session will begin towards the end of the session. Please stick to the screen that we are sharing. If you change the screen, it will be notified to us. Please ensure to share the list of participations with us immediately after the webinar is over. The list should include the name, contact number, email ID, and year of graduation of the participants. Over to you, Preeti.
Hi, thanks Agyasha for such a lovely introduction. Hi, good afternoon everyone. Let's enjoy the next 40 minutes, sit back and relax. And let's see why this demystifying marketing for e-sales is required at all. We have been hearing a lot about e-sales across India, not market specific. After a certain point, the e-sales are getting stuck up in scale up, in marketing, in networking, in college events, in fundraising, in identifying themselves different from a cultural club on campus. So we thought, why not to combine all the 4-5 aspects which will help you in overcoming these challenges to greater extent. So the structure of this webinar, as already shared by my colleague Adyasha, is like this, that we'll try to understand marketing as a core concept, why at all a marketing is needed, what could be the 3 P's of effective marketing, why 3 P's, there could be questions from the marketing students and management students who are attending this webinar. Probably this is very relevant to e-sale, why we have taken out only 3 out of 7, 5, 4, which is a standard format. Then we will talk about something about, very specific to branding techniques for your e-sale. Then we'll talk about some tips, social media. However, we'll not cover in a great extent the social media. My colleague will share you the details and all those tips. Then we'll have why we need to identify and segment our audience. And then last but not the least, which is very common to all e-sales, is critical challenges in marketing activities. So what are those? I mean, this is not written anywhere in the book. This is very experiential in nature and very particular to us, which are experienced across India. So here we are going with the structure same way, and we'll be following. And as shared by my colleague, we can have the question answer in the end. And if you have anything in between or anything even after the webinar, we'll surely attend that query. Fine. So what is marketing? I mean, what we talk about. Generally, it is saying that marketing is something I go and sell. So marketing is little different from selling. Why? Selling is only about, talking about selling your product and service. Here when we talk about in e-sales, we're talking about selling as a value proposition. Is there any value different from other clubs, what we're talking to our audience? How do we advertise ourselves, right? How do we promote our events on campus and other campuses on social media? And first of all, when you go to anybody and say that, hey, this is my e-sale and I want to market my product or service, then definitely they ask you, what is there in e-sale different from other clubs which are running on campus, right? So the marketing products available in stores, what do you have in e-sale as a program? Then comes, what eSale can offer. There could be, that is the biggest challenge which we are seeing, that we do not categorize our, inventories. Inventories here mean the eSale programs, the events, the kind of learning experiences, some kind of, recommendations from our leaders. So we do not maintain that inventory. So here it is very important as a marketing tool. These last two things, what is the product available in the store, that is in the eSale, and how we are maintaining that inventory day in and day out. Because every time you will scale up your program. So you cannot have a stick, one thing in your store and offer the same to every audience. So inventory has to be a little broad. So all of this, is required when you go and market your eSale, and plus much more. I mean, what you can invent as per the local requirements. Maybe an engineering campus would have something different, probably requirement, and then be a campus, and then the combined campuses are there. So then university kind of structure is there. So probably there will be something more than this what we're talking about. What is marketing like? It has been defined by American Marketing Association, and probably every second guy in marketing talks about this, right? So a little heavy in understanding for students. That is, marketing is the process of planning and executing the conception. Pricing is not material here, but of course the resource which the other guy is going to put. Promotion and distribution of ideas, goods, services to create exchange that satisfy individual and additional goods. Individual here would be the students which are participating in your programs, and organizational would be the institutes. What is the institutional goal? Are they looking to launch entrepreneurs through our eSales, or it is just an event management on the campus? So that is what we have to match, and that is how the marketing starts. Let's talk about very simple marketing system. Let's not go into a lot of intricacies, because here we are mapping only eSale marketing. We are not talking about marketing of any product or service, or marketing in general, very specific to eSales. First is very required is information gathering. Before you market anything, you must have information, what is their need in the market, what we're looking for. So we need to gather the information about it. See how the information is gathered. eSale and other clubs in campus. It's only if you go, generally I have gone and on campuses and interacted. As high as 20 number the clubs and campuses, right? So it's not easy for you to go and sell your program and proposition just like that to the same audience. Probably they are undergoing like 100 activities in a year, right? So how do you counter that? So it's very much essential to go and gather the information about all this. And what market we are talking about is collection of students and startups. Why we are taking startups here? If you talk about Chennai eSales, very specific in nature. If you talk about Bombay eSales, if you talk about some of them are Bangalore eSales, even in North India, there are eSales who are catering to specific needs of the early stage startups and student entrepreneurs. Right? So those startups are just reflecting that number, that how students are starting. So the market would be collection of all this, right? And that is why you need to gather the information about it, okay? And then we go further in this. What are the services and offerings are there, right? It could be what kind of programs we are offering and what value they are getting out of those offerings. It is a very cyclic process. I get the value proposition, I talk about it, I again go back and do the research, gather information, and do my due diligence, and then again offer those programs. So it will be a cyclic. If you see, it is a whole cycle now. So how do I communicate all those things to people, to my market, right? That's very important. So gathering the information, getting the audience who are there, what are the other people available. eSale here, what it talks about, right side is the market. In the left side you will say eSale. If you particular scenario, if you see, this will be about who are the players in this market. So we are mentioning here the players are eSale and other clubs in campus, and the market is this. You gather the information, talk about your services, get the values, then to them again come back to you, modify it, change it, and give more value proposition and get back to the market. And how do you communicate to them? all this while it is happening. It's very important. So these are the 5-6 ingredients which you need to capture in a very simple format. This will be always helpful in any marketing. You know, your e-sale marketing, soft marketing, hard marketing, all those stuff. This is very important. If you see overall, not very complicated, then you can match it to your e-sales. Then why are we talking about marketing all along, that why it should be done? Because marketing is the sum of all activities that take you to a sales outlet. That is e-sale. Right? Whatever you give to the audience and talk to them, that is how you're getting back the audience to you. Okay? And that is why. And marketing is a little different from sales. Sales is a very pushy thing. You push to somebody to buy. Marketing is do certain activity which pull people to you to come on their own. It's not about chasing them. That's the difference between sales and marketing. So when we talk about marketing, let's create those value propositions which we talked in the earlier slides, right? And then let that create that pull factor that people come back to you and talk about you and ask you and then demand you more. That's the successful marketing proposition. And if we keep on pushing it and selling, that will be probably a very typical sale. And as you know, sales would not create a lot of brand for you when you talk about e-sales. It's not a very tangible product which you sell. So it's very difficult to justify your existence. So I would suggest that focus on very marketing strategically so that pull factor is created and don't struggle every now and then to get the audience for your programs. As I said, we have discussed in the earlier that we are going to talk about 3 P's. So how this pull factor can be created, right? We're talking about pull factor. So how effectively you can create your pull factor? You need to focus what services and what kind of product you have. That is, what kind of programs you are running through your e-sales, what kind of value propositions you have. So it will be having both hard and soft. Some e-sales are having incubator facility, which is it's overall ecosystem on campus. They have innovation centers aligned with them. They have hard infrastructure available where students can come and experiment, and there is the soft side of it. That is the program structure. So that is the product of any e-sale, right? So, where do I go and market it? That is a place. Let's talk about the second P. Where do I go? Do I go in a mall and do it? Probably completely irrelevant. I have a program which talks about an event. You are very familiar about e-talks. I think all the e-sales will be familiar about e-talks. Do I go in a startup forum and say that I'm going to have e-talk and you are invited to come? Probably there is no buy-in. People will not understand why there is a need because they are looking for something else value. So the place where we are talking about our program is very, very important. The mapping has to be done. What kind of program I'm offering and who's the audience, where I'm going to talk to them. Probably if you talk about, say, let's example, e-talks, 50 rupee exercise, some kind of ideation, newspaper exercises which are very common. Probably the student when they're joining your e-sales and they're coming on campus, first year students would be a better target audience, right, and first timers. So that place has to be identified along with your product what you're offering. And then what kind of promotions you're doing. Right? Promotions are very, very relevant. How do you do a promotion? Do you go to management and say that, notify this, I'm going to have this program? We have seen in many cases across India that, it becomes mandatory for 500 students to come and join an e-talk. Because the management has mandated and attendance will be given and probably, audience will get a lot of attraction from the management. So they go and sit in the seminar hall and, e-talks go on and some kind of panel discussions. But are we really addressing that is a promotion we thought that somebody will mandate and this will come? No. That will not create a pull factor which we are talking about in marketing. Pull factor will be the right promotion. And if you get 100 people around that right promotion, good for you. Because that is going to create your next level of activity customer. So that will be better to restrict to that. I think I'm not too fast. Adyasha, if it is right to go with this speech. You can suggest me, rest of them are mute.
Yeah, absolutely. Preeti, you can. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. So that's what we are talking about, 3 P's. And then, we'll tackle the questions, right? I think I'm using very common language. See, that is what I'm saying, that once explained it, I'll give you some textual, but probably I'll talk more than, giving a lot of text on the screen. So 3 P's is product, then place, the promotion, these are the 3 core concepts of what the marketing will talk about, right? This is little, I tried to keep this slide, whether should I keep it or not, and then I tried to, then deliberated, let's keep it, right? Little complicated, not too hard to understand, but they're understanding the different set of people who will be attending this seminar and this webinar. I tried to keep this slide, right? I'll explain in very what is core concepts of marketing, identifying needs, wants, and demands, right? What is the product to map that need and identify? That is e-sale programs. Identifying needs, wants, demands on campus through proper promotional and communication skills, what we do, which we talked in earlier slides. Then we design our programs around that, right? What utility and value satisfaction I am going to create those 2 programs, review that. Again, mapping to the first thing, that is need and wants and demands, what were there and what the outcomes. That will fill up this third block, that is called utility and value and satisfaction through these programs. This is, exchange and transaction relationship. This is not one-sided. This is not buying and selling. So it has to be, a value proposition which you exchange, feedback mechanism. Try to understand, is there any gap I can improvise? So it has to be transaction relationship. It cannot be like, just one-sided, unilateral. Then we go forward and talk about then marketing all those, programs, and, there's a marketing and there's marketers. So once you have understood the need, you design the program, you have understood the utility and value and satisfaction of those programs, you have exchanged already that what could it bring to the table, then you are ready to go to market because you've already done all those due diligence for your programs. And this is market. So little complicated maybe from the earlier slide, but I would suggest that you can focus to the third slide before that, which I shared, very simple communication and model. That will be enough for time being. And there are e-sales who are on advanced systems, so probably I thought to keep this slide also. So might not be relevant for all the audience. Mapping this slide, what we're talking about, need, wants, demand, I've taken one example which is very, very common, right? Need, food. I mean, food is must. I'm hungry and I need food, and that's very relevant example, and we know that it is very essential also for people's existence, right? Want, that is a need. Food is a need. Food could be anything. Could be rice, dal, could be sambar vada, could be anything. That is food. But what is my want to satisfy that need, right? That hunger need is I'm looking for pizza, burger, French fries, as per our experience. I mean, I love having, some kind of pizza. I love to having burger, maybe some other food. Why we have taken fast food examples? I'm not biased towards that, but generally it came to my mind that everybody will relate that you're looking at the audience profile. So it's a pizza, burger, French fries. That is the want. I want to have food. What is the demand? Right? I've understood the need, the want, and demand, the burger. Why? Because I know that I can have pizza, I want to have burger, I have French fries, but I have probably 70 rupees in my pocket. What do I do? Do I go and buy burger and eat it? Right? So demand will always be based on what my spending power is. Spending here would be in terms of everything when you talk about resale. Might not be exactly in terms of money, but might be in terms of time value. Maybe can I put 2 hours on a workshop? What value it is going to give me? Right? I'm looking to understand how an idea can, opportunity can be evaluated. Right? So if you tell me that, I'm going to have 16-hour workshop on opportunity evaluation, do I see in my pocket, do I have 16 hours to spend on this, right? Need is there, want has been identified, that through workshop of ESL, I'm going to satisfy my want of understanding opportunity for my idea. But can I spend 16 hours to do that? So that's the demand. I do not have 16 hours, probably I have only 3 hours, right? So if I have 3 hours, I'll look for something else. So that is what is here, that as per our willingness and ability to buy. So desire, have a burger in 5-star hotel. Probably I had a desire that I could have gone to some premier institutions and learn business model, business planning, but I cannot do that due to my limited resources. So this will probably clarify all those things, that how you market your programs, how you map your resale programs to create the pull factor. And believe me, if you do not create a pull factor, you will always struggle to sell your programs, and there is a huge amount of chance to stagnate your resale on a particular level. That will not scale you to the next level. Because always pushy and getting something would probably, sometimes this audience will get bogged down, that every time they are coming and saying that let's go to Audi, let's go to the lecture theatre, let's go to do this program, to create that pull factor. Right? And we'll be ready, even after this webinar, we'll be happy to support you on those. We are already doing that. My team, Adyasha and others are getting in touch with you and doing that. So here we'll come to an end, understanding why marketing is important and what best practices we can use to do our resale marketing. Right? So we go to the next thing, which is very relevant. Probably branding would have come first and marketing second, but we thought to first let you understand the marketing and then come to brand. Many times when you talk to e-sales about branding, you'll understand they will show you the t-shirts, right? E-sale t-shirts, they'll talk about logos, they'll talk about name of the e-sale. Yes, these are the physical characteristics of any brand which is created. So to identify that brand, but still the brand is not created through only these means. Then what is that? A brand is more than a logo. How it is defined in a very simple term is, brand is the sum of mental connection of a person has in relation to a product or service. Right? For example, let's talk about McDonald's. When you talk about McDonald's, what comes to your mind? You never think of pizza. You never think of dosa. You never think of rice curry. You always think of McDonald's burger. So even if you're not talking about burger, when you say McDonald's, it talks about burger. So brand is created around that McDonald's, right? So that attribute automatically comes to you. So that is what the e-sale has to be. When you talk about, for example, you have named CEL, like Center for Entrepreneurship and Leadership with planning, right? For example, you talk about Eureka program of IIT Bombay, right? Immediately says that something is happening towards the startups, right? So that should be the brand creation. It should not be limited to logo and t-shirts and other things. Those are the attributes through which you market your brands, right? But it would not be containing brand itself. So when I talk about my e-sale, people should learn the e-sale is a place where I'm supposed to ideate, I'm supposed to learn entrepreneurial skills, and then come out as a knowledgeable person about entrepreneurship. So the moment you talk about e-sale, this is the brand attribute we look around. And mind it, the brands only exist in the minds of the market. When you talk about McDonald's, it's a mental thing that when I talk about McDonald's, I'll set a very standard burger which I can go around India and eat it. But when you talk about e-sale in your college, probably in your city at least, the people should talk about your college and your e-sale. Okay, when I'm talking about this e-sale, I'm going for 2 hours, probably I'm going to get that value. That will again create a pull factor when you actually brand your e-sales through your attributes. So to guide our marketing plan, we need a very well crafted statement of the type of business we are in, the type of customers we serve, and how we serve them. See how it is again linked to the marketing. We talked about promotion, place, product. This again talks about the same, right? Might look like repetition, but marketing is built when you do marketing in the right direction. That builds your brand. That's a natural outcome of a good marketing scheme and plan to create a brand around it. That is why it seems to like repeating this, right? So if you, as I said, if you talk about your, e-sale, it would automatically say type of business we are in, the type of customers we serve, and how we serve them. So it is a place to ideate, it's a place to learn entrepreneurial skills, it's a place to launch your businesses, it's a place to, discuss among people, team building, probably 3-4 people. So all those things should automatically come to people's mind when we talk about our e-sales. We have to define what we stand for and the type of work the e-sales does that our customers can expect from us. This truly is the first step in branding process. And I must assure, one of our e-leaders in our videos have said, if you see the e-leader video, that he's from Surat, Karan, that he's very aptly said that it's about place to ideate and learn. Right? That's the differentiate from other clubs on campus. It's not a cultural club or any other club where you need to do events and forget about it. Awarding those people who win those events and forget. It is very much continuous process. Right? So how do you know, at first glance, defining a brand may seem easy, but it really takes some soul researching, decision making, and data gathering. We have already talked about it in the marketing thing that, how do you gather information about people, because how do you offer some product is based on the information available. So again, it is related to same slide if you see. And then, when defining your e-sale brand, put as much clarity as possible into how the brand and what e-sale does is described, so that you can, build a specific brand experience to match it. So we'll talk about 3. There are many steps, but we mapped it to 3 key steps, which is very, very relevant for any e-sale. Right? When we talk about programs like, I've heard a student saying that, IDs and IMs are premier institutions. How do we, counter that in tier 1 and tier 2? That is probably the marketing and branding has not been done rightly. And believe me, if you do those programs properly and market it, nobody is going to stop you to scaling to the same level. Nobody. So that's what, we are saying, that simple 3 steps if you keep in mind while, promoting your e-sales, it would be really, really helpful to sustain it further. What is that? Make an inventory of your skills. We always say that, e-sales should have any structure. Right? There should be a marketing team, there should be a branding team, there should be a PR team, there should be faculty on advisory. Of late, we have been time and again stressing that have entrepreneurs on your, board of advisory of e-sales. Why? See, it is very, very important for marketing and branding. List out what your e-sale is specially good at. Your unique set of skills will form the basis of a brand definition. Probably you can say, okay, I only expertise in promoting service-oriented industries, and students who are looking ahead to develop some kind of websites. That is very e-commerce websites. Many of the students, every 80 startups are out of 10 are service-oriented. Student startups, because it does not require a lot of capital to start. So that is what we are saying, that how do you define your skill sets when you go and brand? Because this will tell whether the audience is going to come back to you or not. Again, creating a pull factor. So you have to maintain that inventory and look back to the same marketing slide, that what customers are looking. This is not a stagnant thing, This is not that one-time job. You can always build these skills. If your market demands, you keep on building those skills. Do not stop one place. 6 महीने बीत गए, इस साल का हो गया calendar, will not do further. No. Please do it. Please add on if it needed in the middle of session also. Please bring some entrepreneurs on board. Right? Please bring some your alumni on board. Tie up with some other e-sales if that can help you. Right? So those will broaden your inventory of skills. Then what are your customer needs? Right? That's also very important to understand. So what we're talking about is what are your customer needs? From your list of skills, identify those that your customers particularly need. You should define a brand based on your ability to fulfill such demands. We always talk to even institutions, please look for core competencies, right? We again stress to E-cells, please look at your core competency, what you want to focus. Everyone is not good at everything. And it is very good to understand to start with that I'm good at this and I will start doing this. Probably if I'm good at doing startup programs, I would focus my E-cell around that and do those startup programs. There's no harm in saying that I only do startups, rather than doing everything and not getting value around it. So that is the word of caution. So that has to be understood on campus, that what the students are looking for. And also will probably would be mapped towards at what labor E-cell has been, how long it has been into existence. Probably for a newer E-cell, it will not be like building some kind of startup events or something. Probably more of interest and engage kind of activity, doing that. So those all things have to be taken care of. Focus on what differentiates. It is very, very important. As I have been saying in all my discussions as of now, you need to focus that how you are different from other clubs on campus. As I shared with you starting that I have heard that even as many as 20 clubs exist on a campus. So how you're different? Probably R&D cell is there which also does innovation, which also talks about some scientists or some startups coming in talking about it, right? So how your program is different, or can you merge it with them? Smartly go and focus on joining hands and building your base on inventory of your skills, broadening that base. Right? So please do not restrict yourself as a compartment. Open up, talk to other clubs in campus. Understand what programs they do. That's also very important, branding as well as marketing. Okay. As of now, what we talked about is about typical branding of E-cells and marketing, which I have gone across few markets and already handling institutions in last 4 years. And we have seen scaling up campuses, including BITS, IIMs, IITs, Tier 1, Tier 2 institutions. And these are some experiential learning which I had and talked to my team back, and they put their experiential learning across any, and then we build up this content. So it is more relevant, it will not be very bookish. Probably E-cells would look forward to have these kind of content interaction further. But I would suggest that if these are the things which you keep in mind branding for E-cells, probably you are going to win the half of the battle, right? Rest will depend what kind of programs you deliver after this branding is done. Okay. So what we're doing is once we have done about it, there is a lot of talk of social media. I'm not a very technical person to talk about more social media tools especially, but what we use as a network, because we are a community-based model, and E-cells are also community-based model, where people, like-minded people come and join. Social media has become very relevant today. I've heard that some of the places I read that when Dell wanted to sell some of their Inspiron model, they went to Facebook and introduced some kind of like button, and then probably 5 lakh gadgets were sold through Facebook itself. So there is a definite social media impact on people, because that is one-to-one. And we're making it label that, okay, in E-cells, probably social media becomes a very important aspect of promotion. What we've done is there are certain tips which we are going to discuss here. We are not going to deal into intricacies of these tips. If need be, my colleague Adyasha will share the details of those tips. I have already discussed with her. Not possible to discuss all those in detail technically. So we'll share that, and then you can take a clue. But however, we'll talk in very short. What are those tips? First is, keeping up with the latest social media changes is not always easy, and our social media marketing tactics may need to be refreshed. It's very fast growing. Technology is every now and then getting obsolete. obsolete, and we are getting into new mode. You know, WhatsApp coming, WeChat, Google Plus, a lot of media, you know, every now and then being launched. Here are what top 10 social media pros have been shared, the best marketing tactics we're doing today. It's not it's an inclusive list. It's not a very conclusive list. These are inclusions. If you have more tips, please do share with us. You people are very now youngsters are very social media, you know, kind of person, and you are technically so sound. So if you have some more tips, please do share with that. We'll share with other campuses, right, through our network. So it's very important not only popularizing, your programs through social media, host social media events, right? Use LinkedIn's Your Day feature. We'll share with you the detail. There is a Your Day feature. You can create a day. Fridays are generally created in Western back. That is why the weekend starts. Probably in institutional concept, we can have Saturday. That is, Saturday is the weekend for the institutes, and somewhere in Fridays. So we can create Your Day, and then people will start knowing that Your Day, and then you can create event around that through LinkedIn. Generally it says use images to amplify your Facebook updates. That is pedagogical question. Maybe I'm not off to the line, but what you see you believe faster than what you listen. So it's better that what images you have you amplify and you put it regularly on your Facebook updates. A lot of institutions I have seen, they are active during e-week only and post a lot of activities on the Facebook and other channels. I would suggest make it a habit to do around a year. That will help you to reach larger audience, and very relevant. We are seeing, see, network does not mean in my college only, in my ECL only. It could be inter-college, it could be intercity, it could be on national level. That is how you're going to grow. Go deep, not broad. If you're taking something, do not touch everything, and try to put everything on social media. Do one particular thing and go deep into it and try to tell people that why it is value proposition, why it is important for others to join you. That is far better than stating everything. We have seen ECLs sharing their calendar of events. I don't think in social media that will make impact. Right? So if you are particular about some particular program which you're talking about, please go and describe that program on social media and talk about that for that particular period when it is being happening. For example, I started my marketing of my BPAN competition in 15 days advance. So I'll talk about my BPAN competition regularly and talk about so deep what is the process, what is the value proposition, what could be the panelist, why it is a value for you, what you're going to get out of it, what is learning. So all those things will help them to come and attract that people are talking sense, right? Instead of putting calendar as a whole. Focus on the platforms where your customers are. Very, very understanding. I was talking to my colleague Vishnu Priya from Chennai, and we were having this voting thing going for Tata First Dot. I'm sure everybody is aware of Tata First Dot. The only national platform in India available for a student startup showcase. So she was talking that students have created, WhatsApp groups. And they were going across for these groups and adding people across India, even I am from Jaipur. So she shared that one of the groups from Jaipur also joined the group in Chennai. Right? So it was very well known to these Chennaiites that people are on the, not on Facebook right now for Tata First Dot, not on LinkedIn, but they are on WhatsApp. So that is also very understandable to see that where am I advertising and what I am advertising. Right? So where your customers are, where your students are. So that's very important to understand. Choose your image wisely. Right. For example, I had an image wanted to put here, but it could have been very heavy file. Probably I'm just giving an apple, right, to showcase. So apple would mean a good fruit, a good photography, a good salad, or I want to create apple pie out of it, what? So you specify that apple is for what when you're putting an image, right? That's very important. Communicate with your LinkedIn connections. Always try to update, linked with them. When you are hosting any event, when you are having social media event, many other events, please do go and on LinkedIn and connect your connections and see, because they also might, that is what social media is. They'll go further and talk to their connections, that will build a community for you. Make real life connections. Do some videos, upload them on Facebook's, LinkedIn, right? Talk to those people. Do it a very structured format interview or experience sharing with these, real life connections, and upload those videos on YouTube. Share the link. You can upload the videos on Facebook probably and LinkedIn and other places. Nowadays you can share smaller videos through your WhatsApp also, right? So smartly use those live connections. Build online influence. See that who can influence who, right? That's very smart social media marketing. It's not easy. Many of the companies are doing, MNCs doing. It can be done through by e-sales also. We are very sure you are not less than any MNC what you are doing already. So probably you can see that what can there be in your connection, is there any influencer, right? And then can the word go through that influencer and talk about your programs, right? Create loyalty by participating in one-on-one dialogue. Please do chat with them. Do not leave it open-ended. I have hosted on Facebook. I have done on LinkedIn. If you are getting some response, please get into one-to-one dialogue with those people who are coming back to us. They could be your regular customers for your programs when they see a lot of interaction with you and try to understand you, right? When we talked about social media marketing, it was very relevant. Why many of the time e-sales say that I do not have, especially, and I mean it's a fact also that you are not in a big corporate with selling product. You have a specific marketing budget. So it becomes more relevant to explore more social media marketing tips for you. That will create brands, how you are online. That will create awareness people, wherever they are sitting they can talk about it. And this is also again a good marketing skills to it. This is talk of the day. From this we'll come to pretty very particular. This is not this is again universal for any product and service, but here we are going to talk about e-sales. That is, maybe the word is little heavier for our students in faculty. That's identifying and segmenting audience. Segmenting here means putting like-minded people and like-needed people, right, in one basket. That's segmentation. Let's take, and there are 10 people who want to know how to ride a bike. Maruti has opened a school for car driving schools, right? What customer they are segment? Are they going to talk to those bike people who are going to learn how to ride a bike? Probably there's a wrong segment. They are not looking for it. Right? Same is here. Some group is there in your campus, in your e-sale, and they want to have some kind of fun activity and understand how leadership happens. Take example. How team building happens. I want to learn that how the team building happens in campus, right? How can I do that? Because I am going for a job and I'm going to start up, launch my company. How can I build my team, right? So that is one segment. One segment is talking about one basket of people talking about, I just want to understand what is entrepreneurship. I do not know even the spelling of entrepreneur, right? But can I understand something out of it? That is a different basket, right? Then there is a people who are having an ideas and they have done everything and they want to start up their business. So they are looking for something else. So these are different baskets. Putting people, like-minded people, like-needed people, more than like-minded, like-need people in particular segment. Probably if you are doing first year, you will be a first year student. You cannot go in second year class and sit and learn. Same is here. If I want to understand basics of entrepreneurship, I will not be suitable person for business model, business plan workshop. So it's very important for success of any of your programs which you do, right? So many times I have seen that when we have larger gatherings, some students come out and understand that I didn't know that what the e-talk was going on and what the people was talking about. So that's not good to have for our programs, right? They're heterogeneous. Heterogeneous means different need people. I want to eat something hot, you want to eat something cold. Need is different, right? So I'll go to some different outlet, you will go to some different outlet. And if you go to same outlet also, you will go for some different product, right? So that is what the heterogeneous is. On same campus in first year class section A, there are 40 students, and out of 40, 3 are thinking about launching their businesses and 47 are not concerned, right? So this is the two different group you are addressing to. So identifying the need of these 3 and how can I build some to pool factor for the rest of 47 is very important. So put them in a different segment, different baskets, and then profile them. These are the guys who are looking for ideation, right? And then offer your programs. Do not offer everything to everyone. This, as I shared the example, one set of the students might only want to know what entrepreneurship is, and another set of could be thinking, I have an idea and want to execute, right? So probably you can make out that these two are different segments altogether. They're not looking for same kind of programs. So probably one guy would look at business modeling kara dete to bahut acha tha, right? The other guy would say, I couldn't understand what they're talking about, 7 domains or the business canvas. I couldn't make out what his business model is, right? So then your program is not going to have the same success level. So we need to segment them, different programs, interest engaged programs, some intensive workshops. Sometimes you're offering courses, sometimes you're offering startup events. Who are the people to whom should I go and talk about this, right? I mean, that's what I say. It does not make sense for the first group if you say that business modeling I'm going to do, right? So probably the first question would be, I have understood the business plan, but I don't know what the business model is all about, right? So let's put them in different baskets and offer them services which we have. The ECLs can have their programs put in different buckets and can be offered to different groups in systematic manner and with definite goals and outcomes. So it's not very ad hoc which you do. Again, if you do ad hoc programs, sustainability will be an issue. Every year you will struggle to get your audience, to get your customer to roll out your programs. Then again management will come and ask you that this program was there last year and no success, why you're doing again? So probably this will help you from all those questions. So I think we have done with segmenting. It's a very huge sector. It's a segmentation is a 3 months course in MBA, customer segmentation. But here it is, I think this much is quite relevant for your e-sales when we talk about. So we'll take up the next one, which is very again. अभी आप बोलोगे कि सब तो बोल दिया, marketing बोल दिया, branding बोल दिया, social media बोल दिया. But who's going to take care of challenges which we face every now and then in execution of these things? We have good intent. We know how to market. Many a times, I think what we shared is many of you know, right? Might be knowing it, but you are facing a lot of challenges to doing all these things on campus. So what are those challenges? The academic schedule is very tight. अभी यूनिवर्सिटी एग्जाम हो रहा है, अभी सेमेस्टर एग्जाम हो रहा है, अभी मुझे गेट की प्रिपरेशन करनी है, अभी मुझे कैट की प्रिपरेशन करनी है. I have to go to coaching. This is a very common problem across India. Common challenge rather than problem. Academic schedule. How do you overcome this academic schedule? If you have a proper calendar of your activities in the start of the academic session every year and talk to your management that these are the every fortnight, 2 hours, 3 hours we need, 4 hours we need for our e-sales programs, probably, and that is integrated your own in calendar, then there is no problem. We have seen many campuses overcoming these challenges across India when it is done and part of your academic agenda, right? So academic schedule can be overcome by putting your programs in place and talking much in advance, not going on ad hoc basis as an event. Then you will be completely in trouble when you talk about events individual. Management buy-in. How do I approach and talk to management? We are seeing that this no more much of a challenge nowadays because most of the campuses across India, management is saying that we want to see our students more entrepreneurially skillful because for 2 reasons. One is that automatically our intention is ultimately you launch your own businesses. At the other side, your employability increases through entrepreneurial skills. So management is very pro and if out of 100, 2 people are saying that even 10 people are saying that I don't want entrepreneurship on campus. That is a natural. That is not to be worried a lot upon. 10% is not a huge number. And through our programs, through our outcomes, we can showcase them that how management. And this is very important that you create and maintain your reporting systems to management periodically. Faculty buy-in, many times you'll find that management has said, hey, I'm happy to do, but I don't know whether the faculty is going to support you or not. Right? So that's the second level of challenge. The faculties nowadays who are trained faculties, they're getting a lot of value out of it. And through your programs and through, we'll help you, and we have been doing it, and you can sensitize your faculty towards, understanding that it's not only about core, and even the management is going to help. So that is a typical challenge across India, faculty. And it's one kind of challenge, the faculty is not having buy-in, and there is that there was a faculty and he's moved out, right? So there is a vacuum. So that's another challenge which is happening in campuses. And probably you are having an activity and one faculty is very strong. They said, I will not give attendance to your students who are participating during the workshop, during the class times, class hours, to your workshops and your courses. So that's another challenge. Right? Even faculty on campus, and they are not cooperating with you. They are not being part of ECLs, understood. Everybody can't be part of ECL. It's good for us if everybody is. Right? But even if that, negative things that I will not give attendance, I will not share, that is also a problem which is very common across India. Above all, students buying. Saying that many ECLs, when you talk to students, they say, what will I do? What will I get out of the ECLs? If you do first three things, what we talked about, marketing and branding of ECL, right? Offer right things to right people. I think this challenge, all the three challenges, management buy-in, faculty buy-in, even all students buy-in, will automatically go off through your well-planned marketing strategies and your branding, right? And of course delivering what you're saying, right? Then as I discussed, that there are various clubs and interest groups in campus. Somebody will say my signature event should be bigger than you, participation be 1500, something like that. So you have to counter that also, and in a very positive format, go and shake hands with them, try to understand what programs they are seeing. You give your inputs, and I've seen across campuses, we have rather seen that e-leaders are the most sought after active students on campus. So any programs happen on campus, the management will call the leaders. So you already have a standing in the campus. So please utilize on that, capitalize on that standing. For the second thing what we're talking about is that off-campus marketing. Campus pe to ho gaya, students know about me. I can do my activities on campus. Management can mandate students to go and attend those programs. But what happens to the off-campus marketing? We have been doing a lot of e-leader workshops, and purpose of e-leader workshops have been to network. E-leaders are coming to these e-leader workshops. The Startup First Dot is a common platform they do. This is the any interest-led programs which will help you to counter these challenges. However, locally also through your branding and marketing and tying up with your e-sales, jointly doing programs with e-sales, you can market, and network with your other e-sales. Oh, biggest of all, where will I get funds for my activities? Right. I'm agree, management has buy-in, they have given me, it is part of academic schedule, they are students, but I don't have funds. Right. So probably fund raising itself is a big aspect of any ESL, but here what I have done is a challenge. So you have to overcome this through your membership fee, through program fee, through having good programs to go and have a corporate funding, sponsorships, right? So if you do everything, the first two steps are right, put right marketing and branding, this will also overcome easily funding. You can go to any corporate and have fundings. People are sitting there to fund you, believe me. The only thing is that right pitch and right intent is required. So the fundraising would be common for all, for across India. That's not limited to any other single market. I was talking to one of my colleagues in Indore, and they said that one of the e-cells, they fund even some of the programs of the campus, right? So it means there is a fundraising, enough fundraising in the e-cells. I've seen one of the campuses in, heard from Chennai, from Bangalore, that e-cells have enough fund to, fund some FDPs, fund some programs of campuses. So why not all the, e-cells can do it? And this will happen through your networking, right? You network, we have put on the website on NEM, you go and network with e-cells, try to understand how they do things differently. That will help you to raise more funds. Jointly doing events, that will also help you to raise funds. And then the critical challenge is that, I did the workshop, but the faculty was not good. The e-talk went on, but it was not very relevant. The startup talked something else. They talked about, I've heard that, somewhere one startup came and started talking about his or her own product only, instead of sharing my story session. So pulling in right resource is also one of the challenges. You should be very careful. What is the objective of the program, to whom I'm calling, match that. And I think you are capable enough doing that. So I don't see any reason that you will not be able to match with the help of your faculty mentors. I must appreciate the faculty role and the management who are doing in supporting e-cells. So they'll help you in all this. So now I think I've taken much time. It's already 2 past 3, and what we ran through the slide and we did. So now the floor is open to question answer.
Thank you, Preeti, for this interesting session. We have one question here from Professor Julian Das from Chennai. He wants to know what level of an e-cell can relay on social marketing. What level an e-cell can relay on, sorry? Yeah, what level an e-cell can relay on social marketing?
I'm not getting you, its voice is breaking.
The question is, what level an e-cell can relay on social marketing? I think probably they want to know, like, to what extent they can market on e-cell, market their e-cell online. Possibly that is the meaning of this question. Preeti? Preeti, am I audible to you?
Hello?
Yeah, am I audible to you? Preeti, can you hear me?
I can see there, just a minute.
Yeah.
What level e-cell can relay on social marketing? See, label will always depend program specific, right? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so Professor Chitra
is audible to me.
Yeah.
I can see the question.
Yeah. Now Professor Chitra has raised a hand and she wants an audio access to ask some question. So I'm unmuting her. Hello, Professor Chitra. Please ask a question. Professor Chitra, you have been unmuted by us. Please ask a question. In the meantime, anybody else who has any question, kindly type down, or you may click on the raise hand button to get the audio access. Okay, we have one more hand raised from Mr. Tushar. Yeah, Mr. Tushar, please ask a question.
And I want to ask a question that since I'm in the 4th year and I want to enhance the knowledge of e-cell and entrepreneurship among the students of 1st year and 2nd year. So what should actually I do, because I'm the e-leader of my e-cell? So what exactly should I do to enhance their knowledge, to enhance their vision towards entrepreneurship?
Hello?
Yeah, Preeti.
Hello?
Hello, ma'am?
Yeah, Preeti.
Yeah, please.
Got the question?
Ma'am, I want to ask a question that
Yeah, Tushar, please.
Ma'am, I want to ask a question since I'm the e-leader of my college e-cell. So I wanted to ask a question that since I'm in the 4th year, so I want to enhance the experience and the knowledge of my juniors. So what exactly should I do to enhance their knowledge towards entrepreneurship and towards the e-cell?
So you are in 4th year and you are e-leader. So you're talking about open students on campus or e-members?
Yes, ma'am.
So I suppose that
Ma'am,
right
e-members.
now, e-members, right? So I suppose the year is going to end, and by now we would have run a series of programs by your e-cell, right? And
Yes,
which
ma'am. A
could
series of program has been
automatically,
run by our
yeah.
Ma'am, a series of
So
programs have been run by our college and the e-cell, but I want to expand this network towards not only to my members but also to my juniors who are not a part of the e-cell.
yeah, so one of the, you have to try those marketing tools, right? Can you do an orientation program with
Right,
your juniors, right? In a group,
Right,
can
ma'am.
you call an e-talk and have a debriefing why entrepreneurship is important? Because
Yes,
for the
ma'am.
juniors it will be more to understand, and
Right.
then talking about the purpose of your e-cell. Mind
Right,
it,
ma'am.
please do not do only events and forget and leave them, use them. Talk about your e-cell, talk about why it is important, and what activities you are doing. Call some alumni to talk to those juniors. Talk about your own
Right, ma'am.
story. And most of it, what we do in the e-leader workshops, if you can repeat with
Right,
your
ma'am.
students and talk to them, that will be very nice.
Sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tushar, for asking the question. Preeti, I have something in my mind actually. I was thinking, as you're talking about marketing the e-cell, don't you think having a small video on the e-cell and its activity can act as a very important tool for reaching out to more people in a very
Yeah,
useful way? So do you want to give some
yeah.
tips
Social
on that? What would
media, yeah. See, I talked about in social media. If you see, we said live connection. One of the things, I'll come back to that slide. Just a minute. That's already covered. I'll just reinforce, rightly said by you. Like this host social media events, right? This will help. We have said here, make real life connections. This is what I talked about, making videos, and sharing with your team through YouTube, through Facebook connections, through LinkedIn connections, playing it on campus. Many times I've seen many campuses have LCD screens installed in the reception.
Right.
And they play a lot of slides in that. So even if management agrees, you can play those videos during the day for some peak hours when the students are off from the classrooms.
Right.
In the canteen there is a television which is going on. So that is on campus which you can do. And you can take help of social media to do off-campus marketing or do that. So this is what we call the real life connections.
Right. So basically, they don't really have to put much effort on preparing these videos. These are very simple videos. They can focus on a simple script and what they want to focus on and can come up with a plan that they can promote. And they can have it on their own website. They can reach out to more funders or sponsors. They can play this video as a marketing tool. Yeah.
These real life connections are used everywhere. If you're doing on campus, off campus, fundraising, getting audience connection, teaching to your juniors, orienting your juniors in succession plannings, all across these videos would be very helpful real life connections. So you always do that. I always propose to students that make at least one page write up after every event, do one video shoot. Many times you are getting even good speaker, for example.
Right.
Video shoot, you rightly brought up, Dyasha. Many times you do not get these speakers often to come to your campus.
Absolutely.
First, that they are very expensive logistically to bring them on campus. Second, they are not available.
Right.
Third, I do not have time matching to their group. So if we have a habit of video recording these things, probably this will help in more than one ways.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think as of now we have no more further questions from the audience. So Preeti, I would like to request you to go for the announcement we discussed.
Okay. Hi all, again come back. as you know that E-week time, everybody is waiting how the E-week is going to happen, and year-long many campuses wait for that 1 week of excitement. So here we have little plan change this year, and we are thinking that how we can ensure more participation in E-week, active participation, not as an events. So there is a little format change this year, how we are going ahead through our different trophies, championships and others. What could be the different format of activities, where it will happen, in your town in Bangalore as always, what could be time. So we are going to have one webinar on that. My colleagues are going to lead it. Adyasha will announce the date and time. I would request you to come on that webinar and understand the E-week new format this year. This will help you in more organized way to act and focus on E-week. There will be change. Definitely there is going to be a change in the format. Yeah, Adyasha, if you could share the date for the webinar.
Definitely. The next webinar on E-Cell celebration would be on 6th of February at the same time, 2 to 3 p.m. So we will come back with invitation mailer with the details of the webinar very soon. It will also help the faculty and the students to understand their respective roles to organize the event, and we are looking forward to have more celebration in each and every campuses, and to take the events in a right way, and the right motto needs to be served during our program. So we hope to see you in our next webinar. Thank you so much, Preeti, for this interesting session again, and thank you to all of our attendees for participating in this webinar. So if you have any other questions, you can definitely write back to us. In the meantime, we also request you to send us a feedback or any suggestion that you will be having to my ID, that is adyasha@nenglobal.org. I repeat, it's adyasha@nenglobal.org, or you may reply to the invitation mail that you have received. That will also serve the purpose. Also, if you found the session interesting, feel free to blog about it or post on any of your easel account or any of your pages also. That will really help others to understand how important the session is and how they can be benefited in just spending 1 hour of a day, basically 1 hour in a month, and we can reach out to more people to help them understand how entrepreneurship can be a revolution. The recorded version of the webinar will be available on YouTube, and I'm going to repeat the link that will help you to reach out to that particular site. It would be youtube.com/user/eclubnen online. So I repeat, the link would be youtube.com/user/eclubnen online. The link will be up by Saturday. So if you want to go and recheck and see the session, you can definitely go there. Apart from that, we would also request again, please share the list of participants with us as discussed, with the contact details and year of graduation with all the students. Also the faculty, if any who have attended with you. I'll just get in touch with you very soon to get the updates. Thank you so much once again for being in this webinar. Have a good day.
Yeah, thanks Adyasha and team for organizing this and putting a lot of hard effort to do it. And thanks everyone for joining us for this webinar. Thanks a lot and have a good day.
Yeah.
I'm logging off.
Okay, bye.